double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Sauce. Here we go again. Episode 149. Almost hit the 150. Raise the bat up again next week for that one. Bit happening. Sauce, bit happening.
A lot happening.
Ball-wise, card-wise.
Up 3-1. That's what I'm talking about. Lonnie Walker the fourth. 15 points in the last quarter.
Lonnie Lamont stepped up when it counted.
Someone had to step up because I tell you what.
It's not LeBron. No.
LeBron played good. He did play good.
I'm just kidding.
AD went. He was nowhere to be found in the second half when the game was on the line.
Well, I'll talk about
I
that.
I don't totally blame him. Yes, when we'll talk about it in a second. I don't totally blame him. But nonetheless, it's good to be up 3-1. There's still plenty of work to do. But I'm excited. I got to cheer about the Lakers because I tell you what,
you wrote them off for the whole year, so you might as well cheer about something.
I did because
you said they were absolutely shit.
We'll talk about that when we get. Well, we were until the trade deadline.
Well, we'll get straight into it. Let's just go. You're 3-1 up. Let's talk about it. Let's go. We're starting with NBA anyway.
We brought in some other pieces, and they've been able to gel and play a lot better defense, man. And it's the defense that gets us back into the games. So today we've had good. Reeves stood up. He was just,
D'Angelo Russell, he was good.
D'Lo struggled today. He struggled today. He was 1 of 8 in the first half. Don't say
he was terrible. Good. No, he was terrible. I was just staring at him. He was good in game. He was good in game 3 because he started like a house on fire.
Yeah, but that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the inconsistency.
Well, you need guys to step up. All you need is one guy to come along with AD and LeBron when they both play well, to add another scoring option, and you can win a series and win games.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
So this is what I mean. I think we do have enough there. I think at times Reeves has been able to stand up. At times you've seen Lonnie's been able to stand up. You've seen also Rui has been able to stand up in previous series and be that third option guy and give you 15, 7 and 2 assists or 20 points off the bench or something like that. That's going to assist you in winning the series.
In all honesty, I thought you were terrible in the first half of this game as well. I reckon you struggled. Good. You weren't good at all. And Golden State was playing great basketball.
Yeah.
They were playing good ball.
We gave up a lot of points in the paint.
But when you switched on, that was the end of them. And not for anything, the only reason Golden State was in the game was because of Curry. Thompson went missing. He got destroyed today. He got given an absolute bath. But Curry kept him in it. He had like 15 assists in the game.
Yeah, he was killing it. It was a great.
He was making plays. He was doing everything. So if they don't have him,
I will say that when they went to the pick and roll in the last quarter and they just allowed them to switch Stephen Curry onto LeBron James. Like, I love Stephen Curry, but that's barbecue chicken, man. And we just kept going to that, and he just he does not have the strength to keep LeBron out of the paint, and then he was able to make those plays, and he made the right plays.
In the second half,
and we knocked him down. I mean, he's done that in the last 2 games, but Dom, he was very, in the first half, not really on song, a couple of timely buckets, but then in the second half, he's looking to take over games. I'm not sure if you've seen late in the game when he got subbed out at the 6-minute mark. He was off for about 30 seconds, and then he was back on the court.
Yeah, but I think the other thing too is Davis was good in the first half. So you know what I mean? Davis was very good in the first half, and he kept you in it. He kept you in it.
Why they didn't go to him more in the second half?
Well, they were using him in the pick, so then they could free up the space in the paint. So that's why they were getting easier layups and stuff. So I think they chose to play AD in a deeper role and then not use him much on offense because they were just collapsing on him. And they weren't really calling much.
Yeah, they weren't
today.
They weren't.
In all honesty, like, I'm not trying to be biased towards the Lakers, and no offense to Golden State fans out there, but you're playing small ball, and when you got 2 big units like AD and LeBron, you can visibly see them getting hacked on every drive they make to the basket, and they're getting absolutely nothing. One of them, Anthony Davis, they pulled his jersey.
Yes, I seen that. I was yelling at the screen.
They pulled his jersey.
I was yelling, screaming.
And they called nothing, and it was right in front of the ref. Pulled his jersey. It wasn't like, got caught, grabbed it, and yanked his jersey.
You seen it. It was obvious.
I seen LeBron get slapped by 4 different sets of hands on one play, and it looked like the worst shot of all time, but he should have gone to the line, got nothing. So, anyway, you marginalize their shooters. Poole, non-existent today. Thompson hit a couple big buckets, but besides that, did nothing, had no impact on the game. So, very good by the Lakers. You stepped up in the second half. You got it back on your terms, and if you can stick at it, you can pinch one of their games at home and not have to worry about winning it at crypto. So that's probably what you want. The more rest you can get LeBron and AD, the better it is. So you probably try and wrap this up next game and move to the next series, which is currently sitting at 2-2. Source.
And funny enough, Doma, when everyone
said
was
this.
in the chat last week,
Denver's gonna win it.
Looking good. Denver.
Stop.
Basketball, 7-game series.
We told you guys, don't get ahead of yourselves. They haven't even gone home yet. They got Kevin Durant on their team, and we're talking about it's
Booker's
over.
been good. Booker's
been good. All right. If they can win it this year, technically, I'm not proven wrong. I was just talking about Booker was overrated based on when I made that content, and I was right, mind you. Yeah, but I haven't bagged him this year. I said he's been very good, and he has. He stepped up massively. So the only threat there is if one of those guys go down, they're cooked.
They're done. But did you see the Suns owner getting in it? Getting Jokic a tech. Jokic gave him a little elbow, a little sweet chin.
Why is that a tech? Why has he got the ball?
I loved every second of it.
Why has he got the ball in his hand?
Playoff basketball. And then Booker after the game going, yeah, he did his job over there. He got us a free point.
But why has he got the ball in his hand? Source, I'm serious. Why is he holding onto the ball?
He's the owner. He can do what he wants.
No, I'm defending Jokic. I reckon Jokic could have given him a choke slam from hell. Undertaker style if he wanted to. Like, you're not part of the game. Give him the ball back. He's trying to hog the ball. Like he's being a lemon. It was pretty funny though. Jokic just got he flopped as well. He flopped as well.
I agree, mate. I agree.
And he flopped as well.
Jono's in the chat, Doma.
Yeah, everyone's in here. Jono says, "You're wearing clothes tonight
for now."
For now. Oh, you would have taken them off already when we talked about the Lakers. Adam says, "Hey boys, how's it going? I won't boo anyone. Just putting that out there. Yeah, you can't boo anymore.
We'll talk about that when we get to the AFL. We will.
You are an Essendon supporter, so it'd be interesting to hear you talk about this. I know the Pies had to apologize, but Essendon booed someone. I'm pretty sure as well a couple rounds ago, and it was the same thing. It was against Horn Francis. You booed him. I don't know. It's all this crap happening, mate. You can't do anything anymore." We brought that one on. Don't worry about that one. Draymond straight up passed it to one of the Lakers coaching staff. Yes, because he thought that Gary Payton Jr. was there. But what actually happened was Gary Payton threw up on the other end of the court. Have you seen this footage?
No.
So he threw up in his mouth on the other end of the court and was like that, trying not to spew up on the court. And as soon as the possession transition, he didn't run out. He just ran straight into the locker room to just chuck up his guts. So Draymond thought he was there for the pass. So he threw it there and there was no one there. And he looked around and the commentators are like, "Oh, Gary Payton's gone down the race," because they thought he was injured. So that's what actually happened because I think it was Bleacher Report.
Didn't catch
one
that.
of them.
Didn't catch that.
Yeah. So Jono says Lakers are cooking. They did a dry Simpkin. I don't know what that means. Is that inconsistent or go missing? Is that what you mean with Golden State? Because he does do that a fair bit. Fair game. Collingwood. Yeah, but Essendon had another one of those things for booing as well, I'm pretty sure.
Every team's had one.
Well, the whole AFL's on notice because
Well, it's
gather
all right.
round.
I'll just say woo. Well, how's that any different? I'm not booing. I'm wooing. It's
Or
good.
just go to a Melbourne game and say "woo" for Van Rooyen, or go to a Hawthorn game and go "brew" for Bruce. Sounds like boo. Maddie, welcome. Global, my fried friends. Big Lonnie. Only saw the pass. I laughed so hard. Maybe he had all the Draymond he could handle for the game. Yeah. But that series is tied up 2-2. So don't get ahead of ourselves. All right. Everyone just relax. Phoenix and Denver. It's a great series. Just enjoy it. See where it goes. Jokic had to
Jokic
put
has
up
been
53.
absolutely beast mode,
The
beast mode.
MVP, the true MVP went beast mode. All right, which I'll ask your thoughts on that in a second. Let's go to the East. And now my mob Sauce are up 3-1. Out
You
rebounded
know
in the
what?
first 2 games, and that hurt
Expected
us.
that.
But the last 2, we're on to. Yeah, this was the one where I said it can go either way because it's a toss up usually when we play each other in the regular season, but we're able to beat them. Like this is a winnable series for us, and we're obviously got the commanding lead now, 3-1 up. And a couple of people have asked me what happens if you win this series and you have to play Boston or Philly. Now, if we play Boston, we don't win that series. If we play Philly, I think we have a chance. It's a long shot, but we have a chance. We match up better against them than we do against Boston. Boston slapped us last year in the playoffs. We just can't handle Tatum and Brown, and Horford negates Bam, and then it's game over. Buckets has to do everything, and he can't do everything against the quality side. But 3-1 up should wrap it up in a game or 2. So good on him. Another team that, personally, my team, I thought this is overachievement for us. So also, let's not beat around the bush. Didn't expect them to get this far.
You're just
So
struggling in the season, throughout the season,
yeah.
massively, horrendously.
So
Like you were playing terrible basketball.
yeah. So now we're on the verge of Eastern Conference Final. Like that's because we got Kevin Love. It's all the love, baby. Change the whole team. Not buckets, it's love. And the last series is now tied at 2-2. Boston and Philly. And as we just mentioned, Jokic was not the MVP. The MVP of the season, Joel Embiid, is in this side. Your thoughts on this series, Source? Because it's gone back and forth. There's been a bit in this series too, with some storylines, Embiid injury, Harden inconsistencies, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it does. You can see that Embiid wearing the knee brace, it does annoy him a little bit, but he looks okay out there. He looks okay out there. I think he's good enough to be out there. But Harden's going to bring that consistency every game, and they need more out of Tyrese Maxey. He's been horrendous this playoff series. Hasn't done much. They need another third guy to step up. Tobias Harris hasn't been very good as well. So they need another guy step up because on the other side, you're getting, I know they took, they pinched game 1 and that's where you had all those other guys stepping up. Melton had a great game in that game, and Maxi did his part. But since that game, they've lacked a bit of that. So, look, I feel like Boston has a better all-round team that are going to get more consistent performances. I don't know. But yeah, it's just tough to see sometimes when they're just not abusing Joel Embiid. But also Joel Embiid's got to make the passes a bit earlier sometimes. I feel like he you don't get the same calls that you get in the regular season. So you got to kick it to the open guy and be willing to pass it a bit more, because sometimes you're not getting those foul calls. We're seeing that. But Boston match up well, and when they get their 3-point shooting going, Philly has no answer for him. Literally no answer.
It's an interesting one. This time next week, we'll be into the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. So, we should be, depending on the series, if they go to 7.
Anything's
But
going to take it out.
I think Boston edge out Philly. Lakers
They got
wrap
the
up
home court back. They got the home court back
Yeah,
because Game 7's on their court.
that's right. Lakers edge out Golden State because you got one more game at home. I think Denver edges out Phoenix just. I think because they got that home court advantage, finishing at the top seed. Those injuries may come back to bite Phoenix in the bum, like when all their guys were hurt in the regular season. That's why their seed was so low. Otherwise, they probably finish on top of the West. Phoenix.
Yeah, they would.
And Miami should wrap it up against New York. Hayden reckons Knicks to roll Miami in 7. It's not impossible because they're still in it. The series isn't over yet. So, yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Adam says that accidental gutter smile Embiid gave Williams was full on. Williams shrugged it off and came back. He's talking about when he stepped on his head.
Gutter stomp style. Like mafioso style.
Yeah.
It was pretty. That was pretty.
That was pretty.
Like that would
hurt. Well, yeah. Brett, welcome. Good to see you back. The Connor Bedard sweepstakes was held today. The NHL pulled a Ewing in getting him to the Blackhawks. Is he someone we should be looking out for, Brett? And how's North going, mate? Struggle town for North. Brett at the moment. Embiid should sue for the breach of privacy act, the way he gets violated. Well, Boston Lakers in the big dance. I originally thought Warriors, but don't think they got the Stones right now. Imagine that.
Jumping ship at him.
Boston Lakers. That would be pretty big.
That'd be great. It'd be great.
Your thoughts, Source? Yeah. You got the same tips as me there, or
yeah, I think I'm going everything pretty much similar. I would rather Denver get through and see them have a crack. I like Jokic. I like the way he plays. It's funny. He got even a comment from Durant. He's like, he's so frustrating to play against because you see him. He's he puts these shots up, these little flip shots, and it's so unorthodox. And you're like, oh, that's a miss, and then it goes swish straight through. And you're like, what? Yeah. How the hell does he, pull off these little hooks? But the way he just uses his body and his wrist control and his touch around the ring is just unbelievable.
He's a very good player.
Yeah,
he's very, very good.
Great to watch.
Adam says the curb stomp like Seth freaking Rollins from the WWE. Brett says he's the next Connor McDavid. Well, that's that's
big.
That's big. Yes, hard at work trying to turn it around. That's North Melbourne. Saucy looking very Prism blue jersey matched tonight, says Maddie.
And I've got this is actually New York, the Mets.
There you go. He's just jersey match, color coded.
He's repping the blue team in Pokemon Go, whatever the hell team that is called.
You've lost the plot. All right, we're done with the plot.
That's what that symbol means.
No, it's Articuno, the bird.
Oh, is it?
Let's get on to AFL Source. And it was an interesting round 8. Started off with the Blues getting slapped.
How do we go with the tips?
8-7, your favor. So you just another one in front. Just too good. Yeah. So Blues get done by 26 points. Hey, James, welcome. LDU is on the LSD. I'm hoping to God that you're just being a smart ass and that's not late mail for me because I'd be pretty shattered on that. Lions were too good. 26-point winners in this one. Carlton, honestly, Source. Fuck. Like, they're average. They're pretty average. Oh.
They're 4-3, Doma.
I don't know what to say other than that.
They're 4-3. They're sitting 8th. Do you reckon they're good enough to finish actually in the 8, or are we going to be speaking about Carlton not playing finals again this year?
Potentially. I don't know. They beat West Coast last week by 100 points. They beat North Melbourne. I'm trying to get their full record up here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and they've drawn to Tigers.
Tigers.
They beat the Cats. They beat the Giants at Giants Stadium. This is where we thought, all right.
But the Giants weren't good at the start of the season when they played them.
I know.
And same with the Cats. The Cats stunk at the start of the year.
They were struggling, yes.
So they've effectively beaten no one. They lost to Adelaide in Adelaide. They lost to St Kilda. and they lost to Brisbane.
And they got Bulldogs at Marvel this week. Who are you tipping?
I'm going Dogs. I'm going Dogs.
Dogs.
They got arguably the best player in the competition at the moment, the Bulldogs.
The Bond. Hey, everyone's talking about Dacos for the Brownlow. He's a lock, mate.
The Smoky, but Dacos hasn't got one vote in the last 2 weeks, and Bontempelli's got 6.
Bontempelli's on fire.
Potentially 12 in the last 4 games.
The
last 4 wins. He's just been dominating.
He's having a career year. The Bonk.
All right. We'll get to it in a second, our tips, but yeah, fuck. Blue balls to match, says Matty Tay with your outfit. He says 14 guys got 9 out of 9. He got 6. Adam says, where's the criticism? We'll get to it when we get to the game. It was good while it lasted, Saucy. We'll get to it, Adam. Don't worry. We're at Carlton versus Brisbane. Just relax. We got to go through the whole round. You know our format, guys. We're just calma. The Ronaldo. Just the calma. Oh, calma. Hey, I'm not going to be suing after I pulled the wrong Petrarca last week. So don't worry. I got six more packs over here, Sauce, for Hobby Talk later to try and pull the actual stamped one. And then we had Richmond, who turned up in the second half. Sauce, they were down against West Coast in this game, and then they turned it on in the second half and win it by 46 points. They were horrific, but got the job done. Unfortunate Jay Cully, he got a Rising Star nomination a few weeks back. Did his ACL in this? Pretty shattering for the young fella at West Coast. So all the best to him in his recovery. We then had Geelong getting the job done against the Crows at GMHBA.
Pretty good.
Dangerfield hamstring in this one. Scott reckons it's not that bad. And
I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think it was very
precautionary. I think, yeah.
He might miss a week.
Him and Dawson went head to head in the first half, and it was freaking good viewing. Tell you what, Dangerfield looked at his best. Like, that's how good he looked. It was unreal. He's been playing good football since he got bagged in the first few weeks when they were struggling as captain. He's been very good. D's get a 5-point win against the Suns. Very lucky to escape this one. The two they were talking about the D's and Carlton, Source, because they both come off a 90-point win, the Demons, and 108, I think it was Carlton the week before. Yeah. So they came into this round too relaxed, as if it was going to happen again. And I think they got a bit caught off guard because the teams they versed jumped the gun on them. Melbourne was just lucky they played Gold Coast. But if they played Brisbane, they're probably in the same situation as Carlton and they lose. So, yeah.
Got to be ready week to week. Just like Matt Rao was ready to eat that turf and give it a good tasting. Yeah. I'm not sure if you've seen that video, Dom. It was pretty funny. Whatever, bizarre pre-game ritual. But, that's all right. It's good enough for cows. It's good enough for Matt Rao. So
exactly right. Exactly right. That's how you get that prime Angus, mate. That's how you get that prime Angus. You feed him good grass. Next, we had the derby the rivalry, a major rivalry between GWS and the Dogs.
Always a good game.
As we said, the Bont, it's too good.
Killed it.
Just dominated. They win it by 15. The Dockers then defeat Hawthorn by 69 points. Rubbish game. No one cares about that one. Port Adelaide defeat your mob, the Bombers, by 5. You had them at one stage, but then they kicked 20 behinds in this Port Adelaide. So,
look, Dom, we didn't deserve to win the game. The way that
we threatening at times.
Yeah, but we played so well in the first quarter. We played this attacking brand of football, and then we just went away from it and started to try to bomb long down the line. And it worked for us to a point, but there had to be a point there where we had to start taking the game on a bit more, and we didn't. Willie Rioli, dirty dog, bloody with the backhander to Ridley, got him concussed. He should get a couple of weeks for that. And,
I don't think he got weeks.
Oh, come on. That's weeks, man. You don't turn around and swing your arm like that. Did he get weeks?
I'll check it. Keep,
Does
keep
anyone
talking
know
about
in the
your
chat?
keep talking about your mob.
Crows
Global
losing.
says it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, well,
I'm
global. I
not,
said. I said. I said
you
we
hadn't
weren't going to be that
beaten
good
anyone
this year.
global.
We hadn't beaten any very good teams. So, um, Brett says Crows losing streak at GMHBA is at 20 plus years. Well, that's an unbelievable stat. So that's why I bet on the Cats on the weekend. Woohoo! Want some money. I heard Matt Rowell cocked his leg on the change room door on the way out. I don't know what that means. Third leg, or what are we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, so 5-point loss for your mob. You're now sitting in 9th.
We're never going to win that game. I tipped Port.
Of your last 5 games, you did beat the D's, and that was an impressive performance. And you beat the Giants, but you lost to the Pies, obviously Anzac Day. You lost to the Cats by giving them a 7-goal lead at the beginning of the game, and you pushed Port Adelaide in Adelaide.
It's not.
But
It's not all that bad, right?
no, it's not. You look. In all
The thing
honesty,
we've improved. We've improved. Our defense is better. The way that we track back is better. But at times we lose our way in the game, and we aren't able to stem the flow. Like when teams get run-ons on us, we fall apart and we crumble and we just crack under the pressure. And that's what I seen again on the weekend. Like, when Port Adelaide started putting that pressure on, we literally cracked under the pressure. And we weren't good enough to get the job done. And they missed a lot of behinds. They missed a lot of
yeah,
chances, Doma.
but
A lot.
I don't know if the chat agrees or you agree with me, Saucy. I don't know. Like, you're pretty good. You're not biased really with your team. But out of the Hawks, West Coast, North Melbourne, Gold Coast, Essendon, and Adelaide, those were the teams that everyone was. And well, St Kilda's the best because they're up there and
Yeah.
they're in third. But out of those teams I just mentioned, you and Adelaide have been shown the best with St Kilda this season in terms of a system. It's been a bit more structured than the last few seasons, and you're showing a bit more. Obviously, losing Ridley doesn't help, but at least you've got a core there. Like you've got your forwards, you got your backmans, you got guys like Perkins in there, and Nick Martin, who's a gun. Like you've got pieces, so it's just building towards. You got Wiedemann in; he's young, so that
Our
wasn't.
disposal on the weekend was putrid. Like our inability to
I know.
hit 5-meter handballs, it was just a joke, and we shot ourselves in the foot with that as well. So look, we are growing as a team. I feel like we are better than a lot of those teams that you mentioned, and I feel
Yeah,
I see a better game plan. Global says we have no structure forward of center. I think it really hurts not having Peter Wright. Like having Peter Wright and then
yeah,
Wiedemann. Wiedemann would obviously push up the ground a bit more. Peter Wright would say a bit more deeper, and then you could alternate. And you might not have Phillips in the team. You might alternate Peter Wright a little bit in the ruck like we did before. So I think that obviously does hurt. But we got to play with what we got. I just feel like there's at times we don't, with the amount of small forwards that we play, we don't put enough forward pressure on in our forward half at times. So we got to be better on that. And there's a few guys out there, that they need it. They need to be better. They need to be better. They get a lot of the ball, and they don't do much with it. They don't do much with it. And I don't want to name drop, Dom. I don't want to name drop because people might get a bit defensive about it, and I don't like to single out because it's not always just one single player. But I look at guys that have been at the club for a while. They've been at the system. They've grown. They've got they're a senior player. They're the guys that when they get the ball, you want to be seeing good decisions, game-changing decisions.
that's fair.
They want to take on the risky kicks. They want to, make the big plays.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
We lack some of that.
If my beloved Crows kick straighter, they'd be sitting a lot better. Brett says Zach Reed injured on the weekend too. So there you go. Last 2 games, we'll finish with the Pies one because obviously Sauce has got some buddy talk he wants to have there. I went to my first game on the weekend, Sauce, and it was hard to watch. I borderline probably should have taken my glasses off so I couldn't see shit, to be honest, at the game.
It was putrid, Doma. It was
It
putrid.
was, I've got it here. It was 27-7 at halftime. We kicked 7 behinds. We kicked 1 goal, 1 in behinds.
Bet the under.
Bet the under. It was 27-7.
Yeah,
It was
well,
blowing a gale in Marvel Stadium with the roof closed, Sauce. That's how windy it was. Couldn't kick straight. The disposal use was so bad. But it wasn't just the teams. The umpiring was just as bad as both sides. It was just a catastrophe. An absolute
4:40
catastrophe.
Sunday, that's what you get delivered.
Yeah. After playing prime time on a Saturday night against the D's the week before, losing by 90, we come and put on, it was a shit show. It ended up being 64-34. They win by 30 points.
Those
yeah,
are the AFLW numbers at halftime.
I'll tell it was actually bad. Yeah, Global. I know. I'm not going to bring that up. I don't want to call. I know he is Jewish, but the Cheezel Sauce. I got to watch him live. Oh, shit me dead. He's so good. His disposal use is unbelievable. He had 30 again on the weekend. He's genuinely a freak.
The Shees.
How
about Aldi Sue? Was he in the team?
Yeah. He was in the team halfway through the third quarter. That's when he decided to turn up. Aldi Sue. Yes, they were better, Adam, because I got up out of my seat to stretch my legs at halftime, and I said, now the real game's going to start because the old Oz kickers are coming out. At least I get to watch a good brand of footy. That's how bad, Sauce. I'm telling you, it was bad. When I say it's bad, it's bad. It was shocking. Anyway, St Kilda got the win they needed. It was shit house. And then the last game, 11-11-77, the Pies defeat the Swans 6-12-48, 29-point winners. I know Adam wants us to talk about a few things. Obviously, the treatment of Dacos, trying to get into him. And then, of course, the booing of your boy, Buddy. So where do you want to start on this? You want to talk about Dacos first?
Yeah, look, it doesn't really matter, but
I don't really care. I like it. Do you like it? I like it.
I'm not fussed at it, but I think the booing and the Dacos thing go hand in hand. I think it's like, Collingwood supporters see them going after Dacos. Obviously, they're not going to like it. So what are they going to do in retaliation? They're going to boo, right? Like, what else can you do to retaliate against the targeted attack against Nick Dacos? So I feel like it goes hand in hand.
They had to apologize, Sauce.
That's the footy. It's the way it's been for how many years. I don't understand, like, what's the big fuss. I actually don't understand. Like, I think, this has all come about, and it's all come about because of, Adam Goods' stance on the whole booing and, him definitively saying that drove him out of the game, right? Different set of scenarios of the reason why he all got booed and so on. So they obviously don't want to make that same mistake twice. I can understand Collingwood coming out and saying that. I did see one Collingwood member on a news station come out and say, mate, I cancelled my membership. I think it's unfortunate that, I don't like it that the club's thrown all the supporters under the bus. When not all the supporters might have been booing. Who knows, right? You can't lob in everyone. But that's the reality of it. I don't think you're going to change anything. I think, you try ban booing, half the stadium's going to boo, and you're going to, umpire makes a bad call, you boo, you got to kick out half the stadium. This is not realistic. That's just stupid. It's literally gotten to the point, the snowflake culture, where everyone's such a fucking snowflake, right? Where we, boo, I'm so offended, you booed, ooh. Oh, get over it, man. You're so offended they went after Dacos. As long as they didn't hit him in the head, fucking, do dangerous shit to him, a little hip and shoulder bump, right? You obviously don't want to see the little, dirty punch like Caldwell gave to him the other week. That's a bit dirty. You don't want to see that sort of
Mate,
stuff in the
we
Anzac game.
showed the
But
we showed the clip before Sauce when Rewald did his shoulder and he was coming off Nick Rewald. We showed it on here, and I think it was Lepich
Mel
and
Michael, wasn't it?
Mel Michael and Jonathan Brown run up to him and hip and shoulder him in his bloody torn
He's got
shoulder.
a popped out shoulder. Popped out.
And they're giving it to him while he's coming off the field. And you're worried about, like, everyone's worried about all this stuff on Dacos. Mate, that should, honestly, that is flattery at its highest, mate. Because you're going to the best player trying to get into his head to get him out of the game. Because they genuinely believe he's the reason why they're winning. Trying to get him out. Like, the booing thing too, Sauce. I'm with you. It goes hand in hand. Like, there's mistakes made at game. Like, Joel Selwood got booed. Like, they booed Joel Selwood. Like, no one liked him because he ducked his head all the time and he played for free kicks. You know, that all that stuff, and they booed him. And no one talked about that.
Genius,
it just happens.
Absolute genius.
I agree.
He changed the game. They changed the rules.
Yeah, I agree. I never have. I don't. Well, maybe when I was a kid, maybe umpires, but I've never booed a player. Never had to. It's not my thing. I don't really care. I haven't really booed anyone, to be honest. So it's not my thing. But it just happens to be because there's been a few incidents in the AFL at the moment, Source, with racism and some of the sledging that's going on to players. And I completely condemn it. We both do on this podcast. But when you go booing someone, it doesn't necessarily mean it's because of racism. And I know everyone goes, oh, they lump it in and they do say, yeah, but it gives the racist the platform to go and do that. I get that. But if I'm not saying it's right to do it, but if the context is they're booing Buddy because they're getting into Dacos, just like that time, did you have to apologize, Essendon, when you booed Pendlebury when he got his medal at Anzac Day? And Buckley said, shame on you for booing a champion. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you apologize to him? I don't think you did. You're making my fucking point, ladies and gentlemen, without me even... You know what the elephant in the room is, and I'm not saying it, but it's proving my point. They booed Ablett. I went to games when Gary Ablett Jr. was getting booed. And I'm thinking to myself, you're booing him because he's an all-time champion. You're jealous of him. Just like I used to say to Sauce in high school, I fucking hate Kobe Bryant. But I hated him because he was so good. And it annoyed me that he used to beat my team. So I hated him. Do you regret it after when they finished playing? Yeah. It's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have booed that guy. I should have enjoyed his career while he played. I didn't hate Kobe because of the color of his skin. Do you understand? There's reasonings behind things, and they're not all valid. Reasons are not valid to go boo someone and do stuff like that. But to literally Venom, yeah, I know exactly who that is too. Who's booing me? He's probably watching it live with the Oracle Source, and he's just come on. Just take a chill pill. Source is right. Your feelings are getting hurt. There's the boo. Global says Matty Lloyd got booed every single game.
Yeah, especially after he came out and said that he died for free kicks. Then everyone booed him. Remember that? It's true. Fair point.
It's true. Brett says the reality is it just depends on who is being booed. That's exactly right. If you boo certain players, then you just labeled something. If you boo others, no one cares. So, anyway,
let's move on.
Let's get to this week's game, Source, because we're running a bit behind here. Let's just fly because we've got some rants in hobby talk. We've got some rants.
Yeah, we got
Richmond, Geelong.
Geelong's got a lot of injuries, but I'm going to go with Geelong.
I'm going Geelong. West Coast, Gold Coast.
I just think West Coast is that bad that even Gold Coast can even win over there. This might be your
Yeah.
tip, Dom, to get one back.
No, I'm going
I'm going to
West
go.
Coast.
Oh, he's going to go Gold Coast. All right. I'm going to go Gold Coast too. West Coast
Sydney
is so
Freo.
shit. Sydney.
I'm going Sydney. North Melbourne, Port Adelaide. The Horn Francis game in Tasmania source. They didn't have it here because they knew it'd get booed. That's why it's not here.
Still
It's
going
in
to get booed
Tassie.
over there.
He's going to get
Still gonna
booed, all right? He's going to get booed. So I'm just letting you all know out there, whoever listens to this, Horny Francis, he's going to get booed this weekend. So don't get offended. You know, if you don't know the reasoning behind
Regardless,
that,
you know what, Dom? I'm going to say to all the people booing him or whatever, he's going to be the last one laughing because he's actually a good player. And the way he's been able to take over games in the last quarter,
reminding me, he's a fucking gun.
He's a good player. He's going to be very good.
He's going to be a champion. That's how good
he's
he
got to
is.
clean up his ball use a bit more. But there's times
Yes.
where he takes on some kicks where he's like, shit, you're taking on that kick. You're at that, that point of your career, you're willing to take that punt. He'll get there. He'll get there. He looks very good. Port Adelaide will win, nonetheless. They'll beat you guys.
I'm going
regardless.
Port 2. Hawthorn, Melbourne at the G.
Melbourne.
I'm going Melbourne. Brisbane, Essendon at the Gabba.
Brisbane.
I am also going Brisbane. Carlton, Bulldogs at Marvel.
The Bulldogs. I'm going the Doggies. It's at Marvel.
I'm going Dogs too.
Another Carlton home game at Marvel. Jeez.
Adelaide Saints in Adelaide.
Going to be a good game. Great game. I'm going to go... I just feel like I have to go with St Kilda. I don't know, even though it is in Adelaide. They're going to let me down, Saints. I'm going to go with Saints.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to tell you flat out, you're an absolute peanut for that tip, and I'll get one back, so I'll be pretty happy. Collingwood, GWS, they are shit.
Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm tipping Adelaide. St Kilda's shit. They're no good, mate. I saw it firsthand.
Yeah. Okay.
They suck.
I agree. And when I came on this show, after we played them, Essendon played them like St Kilda are shit, stuff St Kilda. They bring you down to that level, and that keeps them in games.
That's true.
They bring you down to that shit level of football. Ross Lyon, he's
but Adelaide
are going to struggle to score on the weekend. I'm telling you, they're going to flood back, sit in the hole, and get them on the counter attack.
Disagree. I'm going the Crows. I'm getting one back, mate. You should probably be an extra one on me because of the Carlton tip, but I'll just change my tip anyway if it's wrong. So
no, I didn't change my tip. You didn't let me.
Pies, GWS.
Pies.
You know who I tip. I never tip against the Pies. They always get a tip in for me, mate.
Hot Pies.
Brett says we got Sheasel for him. That's right. And he's better. No, Horn Francis is going to be better. Global. He says, what if we chant boo effing who? You can't do that because someone who's crying will be offended. All right, let's move on. Let's get to the EPL, where the season's over for someone as well who wants to talk about it. But we had Arsenal defeating Chelsea 3-1, City over West Ham 3-0, Liverpool 1-0 over Fulham, United lose to Brighton 1-0, which is fantastic. Wolves beat Villa 1-0, Tottenham 1-0 over Palace, City defeat Leeds 2-1, Bournemouth lose to Chelsea 3-1, Liverpool 1-0 over Brentford, Arsenal defeat Newcastle 2-0, West Ham defeat United 1-0, Fulham defeat Leicester 5-3, Everton defeat Brighton 5-1, which is a massive win for them. And Nottingham defeat Southampton 4-3. Saucy, you want to talk about Arsenal quickly again? Is it over? You said the season... At the top of the show, you said it was finished.
It's over. It's done.
Yeah, it's fair. I agree with you.
They've got a game in hand. They're a point ahead. City's next fixtures, obviously they've got Real in the Champions League, which is tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that in a sec. But then they've got Everton. That's a win away from home. Although Everton needs a win, but can Everton be the saviour that we need like they, stole points off us? Can they do it to City? I don't think so. Then they've got Chelsea at home, Brighton away, Brentford away, and that's the end of the season for them in the Premier League. So the hopes we have is Chelsea and maybe Brighton getting some points off them, and then we got to keep winning out our games. But nonetheless, I just can't see it happening. And City have flown home, and we have stumbled tremendously. And I just went back, Doma, and watched the end of that our watch party on the West Ham game, and just to see my reaction.
Don't do
And
that to yourself.
and just see me at that point. And I watched it back at that point, and that was where I said, Doma, we've lost the league. We've lost the league. We've actually lost the league.
I should bring.
And that was
I should
before we
find
played
that and bring it up.
Southampton. Before we played Southampton and dropped points to Southampton. That's what I said. Three
I agree.
draws in a row where 2 of those games we were up by 2 goals. Even if we drew against Southampton, we should have beat West Ham. We would have beat West Ham. We would have been another 3 points. We would have still been in. Even if we lost to City, we would have still been in the race, Doma. We would have had another 3 points. We would be on top by 2 points, and they'd have a game in hand. We'd still have a chance. But the fact that we drew both of those games after being up 2-0 against Liverpool, 2-0 against West Ham, and drawing. It's gonna haunt me forever, Dom. It's gonna haunt me forever. The manner. And in that West Ham game, we missed a penalty as well. We missed a penalty to put us up 3-1. And then we gave away the goal, missed the pen, then let them equalise 2-2. Oh, just burns me thinking about it.
Here it is. Just look at his reaction. Just look at his reaction.
Defeat. That's defeat, ladies and gentlemen. That is defeat.
That there is a man that knows that it's gone.
That's me just
And he says
my life as an Arsenal supporter.
He says right here, I'll skip it here. It hasn't got volume, but he goes, and we missed a fucking penalty. That's exactly what he says. Look at him. Look at him. He's disgusted. Oh, that's enough of that. Enough of that. Put him out of his misery. Enough of that.
The pain I feel watching that. Oh, it's so much pain.
The games this week, I'll get to you quickly in a second, James. Leeds, Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham, Chelsea, Nottingham, Palace, Bournemouth, United, Wolves, Southampton, Fulham, Brentford, West Ham, Everton, City, Arsenal, Brighton, and Leicester, Liverpool. Yes, like Ralph Wiggum. Yes, that is very good, Brett. James says Liverpool had it a few years ago, went from 3-0 to 3-3, and next game we had Slippy G moment. I feel ya. James says, Doma, will Man United make Champions League? Looking dicey. Listen, I'm going to go on the record. You can have Kane, Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, whoever the hell you want, Jude Bellingham. I don't really care who the player is. You can have them all linked to Manchester United. Every single one of them. You can have every player on planet Earth linked to Manchester United. Man United fans, just like we said to Arsenal fans that said, oh, we're happy we finished second. We're going to finish second. Doesn't matter. We tried. Here's your reality. If you're not playing Champions League football next year, we are getting jack shit.
Yeah, you need to finish top 4.
You'll get James Maddison because he doesn't know any different. He's never played Champions League football in his life. So you'll get him. Like that's who we'll sign for 150 million. That's what the price tag is.
You get rorted. His
I'm
price
just telling
tag
you.
is not actually 150 million.
Oh, no, 120. Sorry, Declan Rice is 150.
Get the fuck out of here.
We'll get Declan Rice because he also hasn't played Champions League before. So these guys will get, or maybe it was 100 million for James Maddison. Anyway, it was something ridiculous. But it was 150 West Ham want for Declan Rice. They said we're happy for him to leave the club, but at this price. Positive said United are a small club now. Okay, fair enough. You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you? Positive. English players get a premium. We're a small club, yet how many championships have you seen your club win in your lifetime? So that's what I like to remind people, Source. I just like to remind people about United. I've seen enough in my lifetime. So we'll win it every year there for one stage. It's pretty happy. At that price, they're better off with Billy Madison. I agree. All right. Let's get to Champions League quickly, Source, and we've got to move on from here. The games tomorrow, you evil man says positive. The game tomorrow and the game Thursday. The Thursday game is AC Milan versus Inter Milan, which is going to be a ripper. Now, the game tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Source. I'm going to tell you the odds. You can when I saw them today, so you can tell me if they've changed. Real Madrid, when I saw them, $3.20. Man City with $2.10.
Yep, I've seen that. Correct.
What's your thoughts? Are you going to give your prediction again? Are you going to go the air in Madrid, whatever you say? I don't know what you say. You bloody.
I'm just telling you that Champions League football, Madrid, they step up. They've definitely got the team that could give City some issues. I like Madrid to win this game. I mean, I know City are flying. But it's a different task going to Madrid and getting a result. If Real Madrid don't take a lead going to Manchester, it's game over. If they allow them City to be in front or equal going to Manchester, I feel like City will have just too much strength at home.
That's a fair call.
They need to go out here and get a result. They need to win this game and be on top, at least by one goal. Have that goal buffer heading into the second leg. But it'd be interesting to see what they do. Whether they come out, sit back, try hit them on the counter attack. I feel like Haaland could probably outpace quite a few of the guys at the back there, especially if he's running off cover. He will outpace him easily. Rudiger might have him a little bit, maybe. But yeah, Rudiger might be able to pace with him. He can be fast, but yeah. Well, they've got here. They reckon Alaba will play centre back, so it's going to be a good matchup. Very, very good matchup. What last time these two teams faced, Real Madrid 3-1 and then 4-3 away. So they've definitely got enough in the team to bang in the goals. The difference is Haaland is in the team this time around, so it's a different proposition.
That's right.
I'm going Real tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Got to go that air in Madrid.
I'm not making a prediction on this one. I'll just let it play out. I might even get up and watch it, to be honest. It'll be a good game. So, all right, let's move on, Source. F1. I'm going to recap the weekend for you. Verstappen won. Season's finished. Next race is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix on the 21st of May. There's nothing for me to say to anyone, to be honest. It's over.
Came from 9th?
From 9th, yeah. It's over. So
it's too good. The Red Bulls are too good.
We'll jump on.
Other teams
we'll do a couple. We'll do off the grid. It's still going to happen. 11 p.m. on the 21st of May next Sunday. You know, we'll get on off the grid. We'll enjoy it. We'll get on there and just talk absolute shit. Like that. That's what it is. We'll enjoy the race. Talk about cars, sport, whatever you want to talk about.
Talk about anything.
Everything. We talked about the getting touched by Golden, the Golden Touch, whatever the hell the show is called. We do all that type of stuff on there. It's just a bit of a get together with the race on, but it is over. Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix is next in Italy on the 21st of
Brett
May.
Says Charles Leclerc makes too many mistakes for a top line driver. What's your thought, Doma?
He does. Not straight up. Spun out in quali, hit the wall. Like, it wasn't like bad, but spun out. He pushes too hard in the wrong. I agree. I just think he makes those immature errors in places on tracks where it doesn't need to be pushed that hard. Like he could push in other areas to make up the time, and he's pushing it in the most dangerous spots on the track where it's not necessary, and it's costing him massively. Like I know we blame Ferrari as much as we want to, but the engine isn't blowing up every week like it did last year. So
Yeah,
it's got to come
true.
down to the driver. He
Not
drove
getting
a
not getting the
flawless
power failures as well.
man. He drove a flawless race in Azerbaijan. He finished third. Like that's the difference. He pushed it too hard this week, a week later, and look what happens. Like he finished right out of it, like in seventh source. He was fighting against Kevin Magnussen for 11th spot for most of the day. A Haas. Like, yeah, anyway. It's Verstappen's to lose. He's too good. We
I don't
move
feel
on
like
to Italy next, and we'll see what happens there. All right, Source, over to you. Some UFC, and then we got some hobby talk, and it's going to be a banger. So stick around.
yeah. UFC Doma, as we know, ladies and gentlemen, this segment is sponsored by. Let me get out my little script here. It's sponsored by
Jeepers.
Roll Clean Soap. Is the number one, Australia's number one in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. It is made with 100% natural ingredients and helps keep you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Walk in with confidence with Roll Clean Soap and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products targeting assisting post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, and boost balm can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers many soap varieties to choose from. Just visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on social media at Roll Clean Soap. Roll Clean, we've got your back, the best in the business. I was using the King soap today after the hard training session down at the gym, testing out the ankle, seeing if I'm ready to come back next week, Doma. And I felt fresh as a daisy walking out of there, head high, walked into the cafe, got myself a coffee. The barista even gave me a little wink because I smelt that good. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Look. It was nice. It was nice. They could smell the Roll Clean. Cool. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I love it.
Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Roll Clean, best in the business, best soap going around. I'm so glad I'm back home using me Roll Clean because I copped an absolute hiding using the cheap soap from the hotel a few weeks back, and it's good for sensitive skin, as I've told you, ladies and gentlemen, last week. Use it, double coverage at checkout for 20% off your first order. All right, Doma.
Yes.
UFC 288 over the weekend was an absolute belter. I tuned in, watched quite a few fights, and I can give you a bit of a rundown on a few of them. We had the featherweight division, Charles Jourdain defeating Ron Gracie. Featherweight division, Movsar Edolev defeating Diego Lopez. Third round decision. He's still undefeated. That was an interesting fight. Diego Lopez took that fight on short notice. He was pretty good. Nearly got him in a few submissions. Nearly had him in a bar at one point, and then also a nice leg lock. But Evelev was able to get out of those. He's going to be a good fighter in the featherweight division, and that's our boy the Volk. So he's up and coming here. Evelev, he's 17-0, so maybe a challenger for our boy the Volk at some point. So we'll look out for him. You had in the women's strawweight, KO in the first round. Yan Xiaonan knocks out Jessica Andrade in the first round. And then the welterweight, Gilbert Burns against Bilal Muhammad. My boy, bully Bilal Muhammad, he's now in line to get a title shot in the welterweight division. He's next in line. I've been telling you guys for a while, bully Bilal Muhammad, he's a beast. The way he's able to keep the pace there, he's able to, Gilbert Burns is very good on the ground. He matched Jorge Masvidal on the ground, dominated him. He tried to do the same to Bilal, wasn't able to do it. Bilal was able to nullify his ground game, and then he just picked him apart. I'm telling you, Bilal's got the same sort of. He's got the same sort of fitness and the way he moves around the ring as our boy, the Volk. He gets in and out. He uses he's striking well, and he's very, very strong. He's got a very strong core. So I like the way he fights, and he's a very, very strong chance.
And he trains in the Dagestani factory of fighters, mate, with Habib.
He's trained with him a few times. Yes, he has. Right. So he's an absolute unit. I think he can win the title in the welterweight division. So there is going to be a matchup there with, I can't remember who's the champ now, because it's not. I think isn't it Leon in welterweight? I believe.
Yeah, Leon Edwards.
I'll double check that as we're going on the fly. Then in the main event, you had Aljamain Sterling defeating Triple C Henry Cejudo on his comeback. You know what? I think Aljamain's got a bit of that, that sort of the beginning of like when Usman made his run where he went on like 9 fights. Like people are saying he's not that good. He got lucky to beat Yan. All this. But you know what he did in this fight? He realized I've got a reach. I'm much longer than this guy. I'm just going to pick him apart. Hit him with leg kicks. Pick him apart. Cejudo tried to take him down. Thing is, Aljamain's very, very good on the ground. Probably, I would say, nearly better than Cejudo, who's actually a gold. I believe he's won a medal for wrestling. I believe gold medal or something like that. That's why he calls himself Triple C. It's got to do with that. I think I stand to be corrected, but I believe that's what it's got to do with. He's very good at wrestling. So Aljamain matched him there and just picked him apart. And it was just a clinical performance by Aljamain Sterling. And, I'm looking forward to the next matchup, whatever that's going to be, whether it's against Sean O'Malley or Mareb Devashili. Doesn't matter.
Surely O'Malley gets the crack.
Well,
that'd be a good fight.
Right up there. He's second ranked. So I reckon I would love to see that fight. I think that's going to be a great fight if that does eventuate. And then in the welterweight division, it is Leon Edwards. Obviously, Leon beat Usman in the rematch. Bilal Muhammad, you've got him there against, Colby Hollington is 2, Bilal Muhammad's 3. I feel like Bilal deserves his shot. And Leon has been saying that Bilal deserves his shot because he's like 31 years old, Bilal. He's had 26 professional fights. He's 23-3 professional MMA. So, he is right in line to.
I thought they announced that Leon's going to fight Covington next. I thought I saw that somewhere.
Possibly.
12 hours ago, UFC working to ensure Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington.
It'll be a good fight. That'll be a good fight.
In London, too.
Oh, there we go. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tom are breaking the news. So that was UFC 288. And it was a cracking card. Very, very good card. Glad I tuned in live and was happy to view it. This weekend, Sunday, the 14th of May, you've got kicks off from 5 a.m. And the main event is Jarinzu Ruchizuku against Jayton Almeida, heavyweight main event. And then a light heavyweight, it is Anthony Smith against Johnny Walker. And then welterweight, Daniel Rodriguez against Ian Gary. Toma, ladies and gentlemen, this card for just a fight night is absolutely stacked. So make sure if you can be bothered getting up at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, tune in and have a view. UFC.
Nice.
For another week.
Maddie says Sage Northcote is back, one of my favorite karate boys. Yes, in one championship. Maddie, is that correct? I think I saw his name there. I saw some promo stuff on IG. All right, Sauce. I can't wait for this. This is going to be so much fun. Let's get to Hobby Talk. Brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. The crew at Platinum Standard Grading. Brett says, I heard it all click for Sterling when he started using Roll Clean. Use the code for 20% off. That's it. We've got to get Aljamain on the roll clean. Source. First and foremost, I think we're coming towards the end of the project, Topps Project 22 cards. We've only got 3 this week. We've got Garnacho, Liam Delap by Marco Malgrati. Garnacho is by San
Related to Rory Delap, the long throw specialist from Stoke City.
There you go. And then
I don't know, is he? I don't know.
I don't know. And then
okay.
The last one by Orlando Arosena
nice. I like it.
is Lionel, the 7th best player of all time. Messi. You know what's so good, Sauce? Honestly, just on a quick one, when it comes to these cards, I know I give shit to Messi and whatever, but the Hobby Hangout, I'm pretty sure we spoke about how Tyson can't sign these cards anymore. Personally sign them and stuff. He's not allowed to. But honestly, it's still on my desk. And I shit you not, because I just picked it up. Here it is. Right here. Let's get rid of this. When I said I'll cherish this card forever, I don't care that it's Messi. He signed this before the World Cup as well. For those, I know I've told this story a few times, but he signed it, signed by Tyson, and he put the GOAT on here, and he signed that before the World Cup as well, to spite me. Even though, he's not the GOAT now, but he did win the World Cup. So it's pretty funny. And he can't do that type of stuff anymore, like putting an inscription on stuff or, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyway. You need to get an ice bath lager as your sponsor. What the hell is ice bath lager?
Oh, haven't you seen the ice bath lager?
What's this? If he's saying this in the chat, it's gonna be the stupidest shit of all time. I know what he's like. I know him all too well. This is gonna be ridiculous.
This is an ice bath lager.
This is gonna be so stupid. I'm worried.
Jane Hall.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Venom, you're an idiot. I know who it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're an idiot. Get out of here.
I want to see if it's a good drop. If you can get me a 6-pack, Venom, order it down to Double Coverage headquarters, mate. I'll give you our PO box.
You can give it to me in my hands when I see him. All right. That's it for the Topps Project 22. All right. I got a story for everyone out there. Something that we shared in common source is a bidder on our cards recently. We shared the same bidder. He pumped up our cards, didn't pay for the goods on eBay. Typical. Just another one of those clowns in the hobby doing the shit that they do. It is what it is. I'll relist it, and I'll do the same thing as what you're going to do, Source, and we'll block his bids. So fuck him. You can't get the card.
Yeah, and I did warn you when yours was getting shilled up.
I said,
this looks like shilling, and I reckon
I said to you straight away it's shilled. I go, this is ridiculous. It was going crazy, the auction. It makes you feel good, but then you take a step back and you go, yeah, this guy's not paying for shit. So
nothing gets done. I did report him. Like I did all I could do through eBay's systems. I reported him.
I said
he had no intention of paying.
He hasn't responded to me. He's a fucking idiot. Let me have a look. Live on the show. I hope there is a message from me. I'll get the chat.
Did you get a message?
No, he's not going to message me back. He's a peanut.
I was going to say, yeah, he's a peanut. He's typical shill bidder. Anyway, just be wary of it, ladies and gentlemen. And just look up blocking a buyer on eBay, blocking a bidder on eBay that bids on your item, and look at that, because if you suspect shill bidding, there is ways to go through your seller hub on eBay. How do you access your seller hub? You must do it through your PC. You can't do it through your app, as far as I know, unless there's a different app that you can access the seller hub. But you go access your seller hub, and you can do a lot more things, block bidders and do stuff like that, which I'm learning more about. because it's annoying that this happens. And I seen that this guy and another guy was shilbinning it, so I would have been willing to just, in all realistic, Doma, this card's like a $50-$60 card at most.
Does
And
anyone want it? Is there any Pie supporters in here that want to
There you
buy
go.
a Brownlow predictor?
Wild card,
Wild card?
gold.
It's a gold, number 38 of 260.
Does he work for Probstein? Brett asks.
Probably does. He probably works for PWCC because they're not on eBay anymore because they block us on IG. He's just trying to shill our auction source so we don't sell
Oh, yeah,
anything.
we're blocked by PWCC, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you forget that?
I forgot all about that.
Yep. One of many. The other thing, Source, this is speaking of PWCC, because they are the auctioneer, the auction house in question for this next story. So I can name the person because they've openly spoken about it on their podcast. But Manny, our good friend from Too Thick Pod.
Too Thick, yep. I had him on the show.
Bought a Nomar card. He's a baseball player. Anyway.
Yep.
I don't know too much baseball, as you all know. He bought this card on auction. It was a row 0. It's an older card. It was numbered to 100. And he knows this guy that he's a massive Nomar collector, like a huge collector of this guy. And he was so proud to have bought this card because it's a PC card for him. He started sending photos to him. And the guy said to him, "Oh, do you mind flipping the card around for me and sending me a picture?" And Manny sent it to him and he goes, "Oh, dude, sorry to burst your bubble, but you've bought a fake card off PWCC. The serial number's not meant to be on the bottom of the card. It's meant to be in the bottom left. That blank space at the top of the card's actually meant to have the player's name in there. It's not actually meant to be blank." And he goes, "That card's off an uncut sheet. It's not actually real." To make the story even better, and this is the part Saucy loves the most about this story, the card was slabbed and it got a PSA 9 and the card's fake. But it gets better than that. PWCC said he probably should have done his research into the card. Just stop and think about that, ladies and gentlemen. He should have done his research into the card. Stop and think. Do you know what's wrong with that? Think about it. I'll explain to you in 5 seconds. Just keep thinking. All right, I'll tell you what it was. The card was graded by a company that authenticates the card, that it's not fake. They should be able to tell if the card's fake or not. And the auction house sold a graded card thinking that it's a legit card, and now he's telling the client that they should have done their research to make sure it was real. Funnily enough, that card's been held up. I'm not going to get into the details of the finances, just that the card has to be sent to PSA to be authenticated once again correctly to see if it's real or not. So, anyway, you think about that. I just want people to just think about that. How ridiculous this story sounds. He bought a fake card. Just if I'm for good business practice, and yeah, okay, you're trusting PSA is the grader in this instance here. I just don't want to pick on PSA. Grader in general, and I'm an auction house, and it comes to me, I'm automatically going to trust that it's a real card. Are you not, Source? So you're going to list it on your auction house as a legit card. But in the instance that something like this does happen, in good practice, if I was the auction house, I would refund you the money that you spent to buy this card. So you get your money back, and it's on my own accord now, as PWCC in this auction, to find out why this card was fake and get rid of it. Let's destroy it out of the hobby so it doesn't exist in the pop report. Go talk to PSA. Do whatever you have to do to get it completely out of here. So it doesn't appear anywhere else.
PWCC, press, wash, cut, consign. Brent from PWCC with the live report. That's clearly not Brent because that's the same account that was trolling on AIHs. That was trolling on AIHs, and I don't think it is him, but it is a troll account. So keep him coming, Brett from PWCC. We love it.
It's just absurd, absolutely absurd.
No responsibility from. We know PWC. We've spoken about this before, Dom. They take no responsibility, and don't think that like other auction houses are any better. They're not, right? They take no responsibility on this stuff. And we
spoke about one last week. We're about freaking postage.
Yeah, they take no responsibility. Lloyd's auction house trying to charge $40 postage is just ridiculous. Just
$80 express,
crazy. $80 express for Oz Post. They're dreaming, right? Dead. But in this instance, the matter of fact that it's been graded by PSA, the certs checks out, so it's gotten past their checks. Why do we even have these grading companies? What is even the point, right? If the PWCC sells the fake card and they just push the blame onto the grading company, right? And then these grading companies can't do their job right. And we've seen the whole situation with the trimmed cards and, all of that, which we'll talk about a little bit in a sec. But what is even the point? What is the point? Why do we have them? Like, I just don't understand. Like, why do we have them? I'm just so frustrated that people continue to piss money down these graders' pockets when they can't actually do their job, what they're supposed to do. And then when they get caught out for it, they don't take any responsibility. Like, it's just crazy. It is crazy.
Maddie said, if you own a watch store and sell a fake, do you say to the customer, sorry, should have done your research? The other interesting thing, like, I know this has been an issue, but the big talking point at the moment, and we touched on it last week because we spoke about Evan Mathis, and he's a big Le Mans, and we get all that stuff. We get the gist of it. There's been a bit of animosity in the hobby amongst one another to truly define, Source, what altering a card is. In sports cards / in this space, in the space that we collect, they're trying to define it. Some people reckon it's okay to trim the card and it's fine. Some people reckon it's good to use Kurt's Card Care. Some people said you shouldn't be using any of that. You should just be using a microfiber cloth. So I've come up with tonight the help that the hobby needs, and I'm going to define altering a card for the hobby. I'm going to do it. I thought long and hard about this, Source, and I thought pros and cons, the gray area in altering cards. And you know what I've come up with in the definition of altering a card? Do you know what I've come up with? Firstly, I'll read you the definition of alter. Source, it's the changing character or composition, typically in a comparatively small but significant way. In the card space, all right, small significant is as much as taking a smudge off. It might be a little blemish. Could be a bit of material, a bit of dust, because it affects the surface. Source, that's altering. So small, significant way gets the grade. Altered card. All right. So this is what I've come up with that I think is acceptable. Everything.
What do you mean everything?
Everything. Just do whatever the fuck you want and just don't be dumb enough to tell everyone that you do it. Everything.
Those holds bars. Just don't be dumb enough to publicize it.
Do whatever you want. I'm serious.
I mean, the graders can't pick up on it, so you may as well.
Source. Yes, correct. Do whatever you want. But if you tell the grader that I trim the card, then your card is classified as altered and it gets taken out of the pot. But if you don't tell them and it goes under their nose, then it's fine. Do whatever you want. This is probably the worst thing the hobby purists are thinking right now. Like, he's lost the plot. The boys at Double Coverage do this. We don't do this. But I'm just telling you, do whatever you want. Why not? Why not? You got BBC authentication out there, Source. They put a piece of plastic around there. We put condoms around ours so you can use the Double Coverage. We've got a card cleaning service, glow in the dark, card cleaning service. Bulk subs, group submitters. We're a group submitter. We offer a cleaning service. Might as well call it card alteration service.
Well, wiping it down with a multiple fiber is altering it because you're taking off a smudge or something like that. You're altering the.
And I'm telling you, we're getting a new service coming in, Source. Don't worry about Kurt's card care. We got Double Coverage card care. We're gonna get lube, Durex lube, put it all over the card, mix it all up, wipe it off, get that gloss on the surface. There's your 10 surface. We can do a 2-for-1. You can get it authenticated and altered at the same time through us.
May as well.
We'll lube up your card and put it in the condom at the same time.
Brett, on the money. Roll clean goes really good on your cards. Roll clean soap.
Essential oils. I'll try it right now. Where's my Nick Claxton? My coaster. I'll get my coaster out. Here it is. Look, Nick Claxton. I've put permanent marker on it. It's not going to take the permanent marker off, but it wouldn't surprise me. Here we go. Make me big. This is Double Coverage card alterations. Right here, live on the show. But I'm telling you, do whatever you want. I'm serious. Do whatever you want. I cannot plead and beg with you more, Source, and people that listen to this show. Do whatever you want. Honestly, you're going to think I've lost the plot. But do what you want. Because I'm telling you out there, Source, there is people. I'm actually rubbing this here. I'll tell you what.
How's it going?
Taking a bit off the soap. This is the soap that I usually bite in the promo too. It's not really shining it up. Yeah, it does. It's all natural, Source. It's not working.
It won't affect the card. It won't affect the card.
It hasn't.
PSA won't pick up. PSA won't pick up the roll clean soap on there.
No, that's his auto. That's his auto. Yeah, look. I'll send that in there like that. I'm looking to get a PSA 1 anyway, so it doesn't really matter, or an SGC 1 or a DGS 1. But Source, do whatever you want. I'm serious. Do whatever you want.
It's a no hold bars, ladies and gentlemen, because you're seeing it that and it's bizarre because in our eyes, from what I would think, going to the point where you're using a guillotine, a ruler to measure out and cut off pieces of the card. If you're shining up the card with any sort of wax or anything, I mean, myself, I've used my hot breath after I've had a couple of scotches. Use my hot breath, sitting there, got a scotch on the side, have a swig, put it down, bit of hot breath on there with a bit of alcohol breath, wiping it down. Technically, Doma, I've altered the card.
It's altering.
I've altered the card.
It is altering the card, man. You can, man. This is shout out to Too Thick Pot again, but they're talking about they're eating Cheeto sauce and they pull the card and they get a big Cheeto thumbprint on the card. You wiped it down. You altered it, mate. It's altered. You shouldn't have worn the gloves. You should have worn gloves or had clean hands when you opened the pack.
Shouldn't have been a greasy fucker. Should have been clean.
Do you know what the perfect card is, Source, to be sent into a grading company? You open it straight out of here and you send it. You don't touch it. That's a non-altered card. The moment you wipe it with microfiber, altered. Could have had a blemish, altered. Use Kurt's card, get altered. Trim it, altered.
How about
breath, altered.
How about if you blow on it to blow off dust?
Altered, because the surface is now a 10.
So just do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen, because these grading
just be smart enough. Just be smart enough not to tell everyone.
they're so incompetent they can't detect it. And it's unfortunate. And this is why I have a fear of buying high graded cards, because who knows what the hell has been done to them to get these high grades on these cards. And who knows if it's safe practices that could be paying 5, 10, 20,000, ridiculous money for these cards. And they could literally be altered. And you wouldn't even know because PSA, BGS,
They don't even
SGC,
know.
CSG, any of them
They
can't
don't
tell the
know.
difference.
They don't know.
So
And
what the hell is the point of having these fucking grading companies?
the bottom
Sorry,
line is, Source.
what's the point?
He's fired up. But in all honesty, I'm telling you, there's people out there that have got everyone so fooled. Like, could be your favorite influencer. I'm telling you, there's a majority of these people that are playing in.
That's with the baby milk. With the baby milk.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm telling
Brett,
you though
thank
that
you.
these people that are playing with high end cards in the space source, sending in cards to get graded, getting good grades, like sports cards, that is. It wouldn't surprise me behind closed doors that they're doing this shit. They're just not going to tell you that they're doing this stuff. If the difference between a 9 and a 10 source is 15, 20, 50, $100,000, you're telling me you're not gonna use a Kurt's card care to get an extra $50,000 to $100,000?
Or a humidor to push out the bumps.
I'm serious. Do you not think that they're not going to do that?
100%
Just
they're
think
going to do
about
it.
it. Anyway, I've
It's all about money.
defined altered cards for you.
It's all
All right,
about money, and
it's
it just
everything,
frustrates me.
and do what you want.
Yeah, and last point, because then we're going to move on. It just
Let's open
frustrates
some
me, Doma,
cards.
because we piss fucking money into these stupid grading companies, and less money is actually spent on the thing you're supposed to collect, which is the actual cards, mate. The actual cards. And it frustrates me because you don't need these jackass grading companies, because with technology, you can't tell me anyone that's spending $1,000, $2,000 on a card doesn't have a fucking iPhone 13 or an iPhone 12 or a good Samsung phone or good freaking whatever Oppo. There's even a cheap Oppo top of the range Oppo for $500 can send freaking 1080p videos. You could put a whole file together on Google Drive and say, here, mate, check out all the high res photos I've got. Check out the video I've got on my Google Drive there, mate. And you could see the quality of the card. Just be honest with people. But regardless, you got people always trying to deceive people. So even in that case, unfortunately, in this hobby, you won't get honest people, and you won't get people disclosing the proper condition and everything, because they want to deceive you. And that's what they're doing to these grading companies, and that's what these grading companies are giving people the opportunity to do, is to deceive people and actually rort them of money, because it's getting a false grade that it should have never been given, and you're having to pay a premium for it. So suck shit. You're paying for a 9 or an 8, and that could be on vintage cards, especially. That might be, bumping an old vintage card to a 6 and 7 could be the difference of thousands of dollars, Dom.
Evan Mathis gave the blueprint a week and a half ago when he openly, with that video, admitted to trimming cards. Because his history with some of the big cards that he owns in his collection and the cards that he sold in baseball, football, everything. Like how much money he's made through some of these big cards. And then he's come out and done a trimming video, and I just sit there and go, well, if he had a 52 tops mantle, why is he not going to trim it to get a high grade, for example? Why wouldn't
Yeah.
he just set the blueprint, but you'll turn a blind eye and you'll forget about it in a month's time, and you'll talk about the next thing. It'll be like, I don't know, Ken Golden and Brent from PWCC are having a celebrity boxing match, and that's going to take up your time. Some stupid shit like that. And you forget about the past. You forget about what happened a month earlier. And you move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And in a year's time, a modern card that, has been bought, cracked, gets altered source, gets resubbed, but because it's altered, they can't pick it up on their system. It gets a higher grade, sells for a record price, then gets found out that it was altered, and you go, "Oh my god, this is so devastating to the hobby. What's it become?" And you know what, Sauce?
There's
We'll
no
bitch and
liability
moan.
by the
We'll
grading
bitch and
company.
moan about it again for a month. And then we'll have Rick Probstein fighting against Logan Paul in a celebrity boxing match or some other bullshit again. You'll get the Golden Touch season 4 coming out and you forget about it. And it'll happen again and again and again, like it's done for the whole history of sports cards. And it's happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a week and a half ago, and you don't care. And you keep doing it and you keep allowing it. So
Do whatever
altering
the fuck you want.
cards, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Do whatever
Just
you
don't
want.
tell
Just don't
people
be
you're-
just
you're-
don't
you-
be an
If
idiot
you
and
do
tell
that,
everyone.
sorry, if you do that, Doma, if you go do it and then you're going to publicize it, sorry, but you are one of these. You are a lemon.
Straight up.
And we're not advocating for it. We actually think it's very bad for the hobby. And this is why my fear of buying high graded cards of high value and why I've never even dealt into the space. And the thing is, the Kobe card that I bought from someone, which is my most expensive card, and you've seen it, I've put a video of my Grail card. I know where that came from. They pulled it from a box. They bought it off someone and they know where they got it from. So I'm safe in my own mind that I know it's not old.
Just look at the centering on this card.
Yeah, that's a 10, Doma.
That is
hang
a
on, let me-
PSA
let me-
10.
Let me put you big.
Look at the centering.
That's horrendous. They've given that. Show us the 10 on it.
There it is.
There's the 10. So I'm not talking
You gotta
garbage.
look it up. You can scan it, ID. I don't give a shit. You want the QR code here? You can scan that off your computer as well. I don't care. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
it's a 10, Doma. It's a 10. It's a 10.
But if that came back a 9 and I cracked that for centering source, got my little guillotine out, measured it up, Evan Mathis style, trimmed it up the side there on the fat side up the top, got it a bit even, resubbed it, I would have got a 10. Who the fuck's going to know? Who's going to know? Who's going to know? Unless I tell you about it, you're not going to know. Straight up. Welcome to the hobby, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Wild Wild West, where anything goes.
It is the Wild Wild
Where
West.
10s come aplenty, and you can make millions of dollars off your assets. So just don't ever forget that. Let's get some cards open. Come on.
All right, we're ripping some cards to end the show, and then we're done for another week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, that everyone has joined into the chat. This is the fun part, and we're trying to rip something most weeks.
Try not to G up again.
Yeah, Doma, what have you got? What have you got? We'll let you go first.
I've just got 6 team coach packs.
All right, he's got 16 coach, ladies and gentlemen.
Here
it's
the infamous card.
It's square. It's a square. It's square, not rounded edge. Square edge.
I'm aware. All right, there's the infamous card from last week.
I've got a couple of team coach too.
Our pack luck, as we said, has been pretty good as of recent. All right, the hit is we've got a fantasy favorite of Jack McCrazy. And here we go. Oh no.
The horny.
I'm not going to do
collection.
I'm not going to do anything stupid.
Boo it.
Nothing
Boo it.
dumb. Boo. That's it. Cancelled. Kick us off. We're done. You better hope I don't get a buddy. Oh, I'm going to have to boo there. I'm just showing the hits. Tom Stewart Cardcraft. It's not the gold one.
It's not They look good.
Yeah, the GOAT's designing them. Don't expect anything less. The guy that created the first ever Hasbulla rookie card.
The OG Hasbulla rookie card.
Fogarty, Ross. I'll tell you what, I like getting North Melbourne cards. What's this? Fantasy duos. LD Sue and Jai Simpkin.
Mate,
Straight
next year that
into
will
the
be LD
PC.
Stu and Harry Sheasel.
Could be George Wardlaw. We haven't seen him yet. He's meant to be very good. The other rookie. Another star power, Tyson Beck. James Sicily.
Sicily.
They're actually very nice card. Here we go. Here's your boy, Jake the Snake.
Stringer did absolutely nothing on the weekend.
Yeah, because he's a dud.
Had one good quarter.
Anyway. And lucky last pack. Last pack, Mojo. Another star power. I'll take all the... if we can collect the Tyson Beck set in 6 packs, Shuey.
What's that? One from every team must be.
I'm not sure. I've got to check the
90 star powers. Oh, yeah,
90 star powers?
Yeah, 1 in 3 packs, and 1 in team 1 in 36 packs.
Okay.
And then the neons 1 in 432 packs.
Here's a Ben Hobbs for you too, mate. There you go. There's a Ben Hobbs. All right, over to you.
Switch it over, Doma. We'll flick it over. I've got some team coach as well, so I'll start with those. Then I've got some footy stars, and I picked it up because it was from a fresh box. Tell you what, is that the base cards? Is it? That's
What have you got?
The base cards look good. They're not base cards though.
Show me. That's the silver, like the silver card. They've always got I
got 2 of those in the one pack.
Yeah, you always get the shiny cards in them.
Then I picked up that one.
Yeah, that's different. That's the gold. That's the gold variant. That's the rarer one. I got Taylor Adams last week.
Okay. Well, Ben Keys, and then mate, I'm telling you, I like the cards.
So the silver is 2 per pack. Last year. The silver's 2 per pack. The gold is 1 in 12 packs. So you get 3 a box. So that's pretty good.
Oh, so you get these silvers in every box.
Yeah,
every
but
pack.
the gold is rarer.
Shy Bolton in the gold. There you go. Take that.
Mate, you get 3 per box. You hit 2 in 2 packs.
You only get 3 per box.
That's 1 in 12 packs. There's 36 packs in a box.
Good maths, Summer.
I failed it too in high school. So.
Oh!
No.
I nearly G'd up there for a second.
No, you're a dickhead. You're an idiot.
I nearly G'd up there for a second.
You're an idiot.
But it would have been massive because it was dusty. But I'll take it.
They look nice. How nice do they look?
They look good, man. I think I might grade this, man. Centering's not bad. I don't care it's a base. I just like
make sure you clean it. Make sure you clean it. Even that you just said grading's a scam 5 minutes ago. This guy, I'll grade it.
Yeah, well, I can trim the side here because it's a bit crooked, if you look at the side, the edge. So I reckon I could trim that a little bit, and then maybe trim it over here, and then it will be good to go, man.
Hey Jay, how you going? The Messiah's in the building.
Fantasy favorites. He's good for fantasy. He's not very good at hitting the target. He's the old.
He's not even that good for fantasy at the moment because his disposal use sucks.
There you go. I just said he's not good at hitting the target.
Yeah. So he doesn't score massive.
I'll tell you what. I don't mind the paper wrapping.
It's environmentally friendly.
Yeah, but I don't care. It's easier to open than the plastic. Matty Brown.
There you go, right?
Mr.
Saucy scissor hands, said Jay. When you trim the card.
Hey, I shine it up with the special sauce, mate.
With the shoe shine.
There's Parish. Got a Parish.
At least you
Star Power. Astronaut. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to buy a box of this. I actually really like the cards.
Yeah, the cards are good.
I like those silver base cards that they give you. It's just like the stand-up pose. I like it. There we go. That's the end of my team, Coach Tomer.
Okay, what do you got now?
I got
Footy
some
stars.
footy stars. I got this many packets.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well,
It'll be good
well,
because you can compare them on the spot here.
yeah, I compare them on the spot. But the reason I got quite a few packets, I've actually already opened 2 of the packs. So I bought 12 packs, but that's because the guy was like, "Oh, I walked to the news agents and I said, "Oh, is that a new box?" He goes, "Yeah, it's the 3rd box I've opened." And I know from this first box he opened, right? He's like, "This is my 3rd box that I've opened." On first box, I bought 10 packs, and that's where I hit the Brownlow predictor in that box.
Okay.
So this is his
Smart.
3rd box, new box. So I'm hoping I picked out 12 packs. So that's 1/3 of the packs in the box. And I went through, picked out a few from the bottom, a few from the middle. I said, let me pick out the ones. So we'll see if I picked out anything good. So I've already opened 2 of the packs because I'm too impatient. I got absolutely jack shit. I'm just going to go to the hits, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is disappointing. There you go. There's Dom's favorite subset, the mascots.
It's terrible. It's actually terrible.
So bad. So
That's
bad.
got to be out next year.
Yeah, they got to get. I just feel like they should just not even done that. They should just put the actual mascot.
Yeah, just put the mascot.
We're going to go straight to the hits, Dommer. There we go. There's one for you. Jack Zeeble.
There he is, Jay-Z, running at 95% efficiency on Sunday Source in the first half. He had 21 disposals. He was kicking the ball laterally in defense. That's where he got all his stats from. 100 super coach at halftime. I'm being serious. 100 super coach at halftime.
So he was stat padding.
Yeah. Almost put Flynn Perez in a hospital bed with one of the kicks he kicked to him.
Oh, we'll take it. Too bad it's Laverty. But Laverty,
okay,
numbers,
you're getting you get your team. That's good.
Yeah, I know, Doma, but I'll be honest with you. If this came up for sale, I'd never go out there and buy a Laverty card. But because I pulled it, obviously I'm going to keep it.
That's good. You saved your money on buying it then.
But you take it. I don't know what the numbers is. 1 in whatever it is. Essentials, milestones, numbers. 1 in 36 packs. Doma, that's a box hit right there.
There you go.
That's a box hit right there. Thank you very much.
That's right. Not touching another box now. He's done, that guy. Got the box hit.
Well, I've got the box hit. Unless there's something
coming.
special in here. But there you go.
Very nice, that's Global. Global went up 15,000 Supercoach spots. I like to hear it.
How's the league going? Give us an update on the league, Doma.
I'll give you the update. Don't worry. What was I ranked? I was ranked 7,000 for the round. Scored pretty big this week. Bounce back, so also bounce back. I told you, I had that bad week last week. I lost 10,000 spots or whatever, 15,000, whatever the hell it was. Now I'm back in again, back in the top 4%. 12%, sorry, overall.
Yeah,
classic.
Just standard. All right, how many more packs have I got here? 5 more packs.
Leagues. Let's see where I am. I got 4 from 4 source in the league wins. So
Callum Mills.
There he is. I'm 8th in the double coverage league.
Okay. You got to finish in finals. Come on, mate. You're repping us here.
All right. DeVille still on top.
Oh, that's big nuts. Big cojones.
Yeah, the cojones. Fuck. He's ranked 705 in the comp.
In the whole of Australia?
Yes. DeVille.
Oh, yeah, you're not beating him.
No wonder why he's on top in our league. Ranked 705. I'll try and get some of the other shout outs to some of the other people we know. Oh, why is it? This is my cousin's team. No, he's not. Matt's card shop. Where's he at?
Travis
Let's have a look. Matty is ranked 4,823. That's pretty good. Why is it doing that?
2 more packs.
Anyway, I'll give you the rundown. Here we go. We got DeVille in first, Sergeant Fogg in second, Matt's Card Shop in third, the Phantom is in fourth,
Grips.
Petraxstar is in fifth, the Oracle is in sixth, Jazzy Supercoach is in seventh, I'm in eighth. Mitchell the Goat is in ninth. There's Global.
Nick Romo. Final hit.
Global in 10th. He's only a game outsourced, Global. I'll tell you what. Up to 12,
hit,
16 points, 1 game out. There's the hit. It's a box hit. You got to take that.
It's a box hit. You got to take that. I only bought 12 packs out of the box. So to get the box hit, you take that every day of the week.
There you go. Our league ranking is 2,410 out of 12,800.
Oh, not bad.
You know my league, the highest I've ever been in league ranking source? Do you know what it was? 2017, second.
Your whole league?
Yeah.
Well, second in all of Australia.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Not for the whole season. It didn't stay. It was there for probably, I reckon, 5 weeks was second. Consecutively. It was ridiculous. That was the year I finished 900th overall. Like, there was stages where I was in the top 500 and everyone else. There's 2 guys in there that were in the top 20 source in that comp. So they're just posting monster scores every week. It was ridiculous. It was out of control. And in that year, if you finished as the top league each week, you got a prize. But we were never able to do it. So pretty good effort. Shout out to those guys. I think I put the Oracle in that one. It was a work one. And I just put the Oracle in because I knew he's good at Supercoach, mate. So that's how we do it. Just get the Oracle in.
Always.
On that note, we're done and dusted.
We're packing it up, Doma. We're nearly close to 2 hours. This was an old timer, mate. We had a few rants in there.
Last 2 weeks have been old timers.
Man, we used to do ones that used to go well over the 2 hours.
2.5, I think, was the longest one. Well, Joe Rogan territory. Anyway, on that note, thanks to everyone.
At that point.
Exactly. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Good turnout tonight. Good to see you all tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
Saucy, once again, it's a pleasure. I'm going to go wipe down this card and alter it so then I clean it up a bit, this Claxton card. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm done with the great man Sauce. It's double coverage. Peace out.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.